So you see a lot of Americans on TikTok now screaming at the revelation from China about the cost of their luxury brands and the Hermes bags and so on and so forth. So let's dive into the actual cost of the leather that's in a bag. But before then, really, guys, what were people thinking? You think you buy a bag for $10,000 and somewhere in your imagination it was actually worth $10,000 for some reason, guys. Anyway, let's start by looking at the cost of a cow. So I'm giving you Canadian prices, right? Um, the cost of a cow, average cost, depend on the weight, is about $6,000, give or take. $6,000. Now, the most expensive part of the cow is the beef itself that people eat. Okay, the the cow hide, the skin, the leather that you get from a cow, you get about 5 square meters from a cow, and that 5 square meters goes for about $200. Depend on a couple of things, but the price is somewhere there. Okay, so 5 square meters, $200. 1 square meter is about, just gonna move back a little bit. 1 square meter is about, I think this should be about 1 meter thereabout, and then just square it off. So 1 square meter is about that size, and one square meter will probably do you one gym bag, I think. 5 square meters, on the other hand, can give you about 18 shoes. So sticking with the Hermes bag, that goes for 10K, whatever the the cost, you probably need about a half square meter from that. So let's go back to the $200 for 5 square meters. So that means the cost of leather in the average handbag is about $20. But let me take it further. Now, most of the leather that you see in luxury items, most of those leathers, they're actually from Kano State in Nigeria. In the past, you would hear you would buy this product and you see Italian leather. But if you notice, you don't see that so much these days. That's because I think it was Issa Bako's sister, because Issa Bako did a whole video on it. Um, she pushed for them to name it Nigerian leather, because this Italian brands and all of that, they were getting leather from Nigeria, but then they were naming it Italian leather and so on and so forth. So she pushed, and you know um eventually they didn't want to name it Nigerian leather because they felt it wasn't good for marketing or the brand or whatever, and then they just stuck with calling it genuine leather. So that's why most of what you see today, you see they just put it genuine leather. They no longer say Italian leather, they just say genuine leather. Okay, so why are we bringing the fact that it comes from Nigeria? Is because the prices I gave you are Canadian prices. The cost of a cow in Nigeria, I don't know the actual cost right now, but I'm pretty confident to say it's going to be under $1,000. Okay, so that's about 1/6 of the cost. Let's stick with 1/5. If we stay at 1/5, we're looking at $20. We're looking at about $4 for the cost of a leather that's in the average handbag. Okay, so processing, whatever else, and all of that, you're not gonna multiply the cost by 10. Okay, so that's the cost. And why is all this happening? Really, it goes back to what I've always talked about. It's just corporate greed. People want to take something for $1 somewhere world and just sell it for $1,000, and then just a whole lot of what is going on as business is just exploitation. And personally, I would have been happy if the employees of these corporate brands were earning luxury income, but they're earning pretty much market average income. The only thing is maybe they get some kind of flex of something. Oh, I work with Gucci, I work with Hermes, I work with this and that. But I could be my chest. The average marketing specialist in any of these brands is not earning two times the average marketing specialist in, you know, in another, just regular company. Do you understand? So as a people, as an economy, we need to move from this mindset of exploitation. We need companies, we need corporations to become more responsible, even with their margins, because they seem to be exploiting both consumers and they're also exploiting workers at the same time, which is something I said in my previous video. And for customers, guys, we need to stick with intrinsic value. We need to think about the value of things. There's no configuration of leather into a bag that's worth 10K. Just like there's no configuration of steel, plastic, wires, carbon fiber, and so on and so forth that's worth 500K. Lamborghini. Okay? I'm not saying don't buy this stuff. What really shocked me is seeing people acting like they actually thought that these things were actually worth the price or even anywhere close to the price, So just buy it and know that, oh, I'm spending money. Because if I take the amount of steel that you have in a Lamborghini, for instance, if I take the steel, the plastic, everything, and instead of giving you a Lamborghini, I give you a generator, a power generator, I will even add more steel, add more, everything, and give you a more powerful generator. You're not going to buy it for 500K. You're not even going to buy it for 100K. Do you understand? So intrinsic value is where we need to come back to, even when you buy stocks, which is why a lot of people, you buy stocks today and you're crying, oh, it's going down, because nobody's taking the time to think about what exactly is this share worth. People are just buying because everyone is buying. Okay, so companies need to start becoming more responsible in terms of how much they charge, how much profit they are making, and how much they are paying employees. There has to be some correlation, and that's the new world that we want to see.